Greetings, people of Earth. My name is Jax, and today we're asking the question if I am obsessed with being gay and gay culture in general. So, this is a question that I get a little bit on social media, especially TikTok, and people ask, like, man, Jax, you are always talking about being gay. Like, what is up with this? Why are you so obsessed with, this one small personality trait that you have, or this one thing that you are. And I think there's a few different answers, so I'm going to go through them. I think the first answer is I'm not obsessed with being gay, but on social media that is what you talk about. If you are a gay influencer or a TikToker or whatever, you're going to talk about gay culture. You're going to talk about those topics and those things that are most interesting to your viewers, to yourself. And so, yeah, if you met me in real life, you'd probably be surprised at how little being gay actually involves, like being in my life. Like, my life does not revolve around being gay. It doesn't revolve around chasing boys or, watching Drag Race or Heartstoppers or any of that stuff. My life is pretty normal, pretty typical, and it's quite devoid of rainbow flags, which isn't a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's just a thing. I think the second answer that I would give is that I am interested in gay culture because, having grown up and being gay, it is nice to have representation. It's nice to be able to talk to people who are also LGBT or queer. It is nice to be able to, feel normal. And so if at the end of the day I decide to put on Heartstoppers or some kind of gay TV show or movie or something, sue me. I think there are a lot of people out there who are obsessed with hockey, and they only watch hockey, and they watch movies about hockey and TV shows about hockey. I think there are people out there who are obsessed with baking, and all they do is watch, British Bake Off, and, in their free time they bake. So I don't think that there is a specific reason why gay people talk about and obsess over being gay and all of the things about gay culture, but we're innately interested in it because it's incredible when I'm talking to somebody who might be 50 years old, they might be 13 years old, and they're gay, and their experience mirrors mine. I can see myself in them. I can see the experiences they had to face. I can appreciate, especially the older generation, when they talk about coming out as gay, I can appreciate how hard that must have been. I found it hard, and I knew my parents were going to be totally good with it. I knew my family was going to accept me. Can you imagine coming out and not having those things as certainty, as wondering, man, I wonder if this is the last time I'm ever going to talk to my mom? Because for some people, that is a real and present possibility. So I think that's one of the things. We, in the LGBT community, you kind of share this like trauma bond, essentially. You share this bond because there are things that we are innately worried about. There are things we innately have to be concerned about. We have to be vigilant. And the idea of, like, if I had a boyfriend walking down the street holding his hand, that terrifies me. That whole idea of being an out and proud gay couple is something that is kind of scary, because when I see it out in public, I'm like, man, they're so brave, like, good for them. But, I can see that they get called names and that there's all kinds of trauma and difficulty that comes with that. And so I think to get mad at somebody for talking a lot about being gay or being queer is kind of hypocritical, because I would think that in your own life, you're probably obsessed with something, or you're probably fixated or focused on it. I'm not going to say obsessed. You're probably very interested in one or two very specific things in life, whether that is Pokemon or anything else, card games. There's a million different things that people find themselves incredibly drawn to and attracted to. And that's just like a fact of the matter. And then I think the final thing that I want to say on this is that I have like a broad range of interests. You guys know that I'm really into archery. I love baking. I do a whole bunch of other things. I'm a big skier, but if I'm being really frank, on social media, the idea of being like a multi-interested person with multiple interests doesn't really sell well. You know, like when I make content about skiing or archery or baking or any of these things, they do not get the same response because my audience is LGBT focused. You know, that is the audience that I have been fortunate enough to have and to talk to you guys. You know, I talk to almost all of you. I don't think I've ever talked to somebody who was straight in my community. You know, you're completely welcome here if you're straight. Like if you're straight and you're watching this, you're totally welcome here. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I'm just saying the vast majority of the people that I talk to and that communicate with me have experiences in the LGBT community. You know, I don't talk to other skiers or archers or bakers. Some of you are gay bakers, some of you are gay skiers, some of you, you know, so there is that crossover. But I think one of the problems with social media is we're kind of expected to have like a singular face to us. We're supposed to be kind of cardboard, really. And I've like really pushed up against that. You know, I talk about Taoism and spirituality and positivity, and I try and incorporate a vast group of my interests, but there are lots of interests that I'm into that I just don't talk about on social media. I'm a huge classic literature buff. I'm obsessed with Jane Austen and Charles Dickens and so many of those classic authors, but I don't think it's particularly interesting to talk about on social media. Maybe I'm totally wrong. I know that there are influencers out there that talk about books and classical literature and history. You know, I'm a huge history buff. I'm obsessed with World War II. I've read so many books and papers and studies and all kinds of stuff like that. But it just comes down to like what I think people would find interesting, you know? And so my audience is interested in questions and thoughts and perspectives on the gay community. And so am I. I am just as interested, but I just think that that's what I've been doing. And so I just wanted to make this basically saying, no, your favorite LGBT creators aren't just completely obsessed with being LGBT and being gay. It's just a fact of how social media works. And, you know, at the end of the day, like we are subject to the algorithms and the way things get shared. And in order to really do well, you have to play the game a little bit. And I am probably the worst social media person when it comes to like playing the game and telling everybody to like follow and hit the bell to be notified and smash that like button. You know, like I don't like that stuff, and I don't particularly enjoy playing that whole game of advertising and putting all these things up, and it doesn't set my heart on fire. I love being able to connect and talk to you guys. I love being able to engage in topics that I'm interested in. So for anybody who's ever said like, Jax, why are you so obsessed with being gay? Like if you make it your whole personality, I'm sorry if that's what you feel. And if I didn't know myself and I just went onto my social media and looked through it, I'd be like, man, this guy's obsessed with being gay. Like what the heck? And fair enough, you know? But first of all, is it bad to have a passion? Is it bad to be obsessed over something that is positive and encouraging and makes me a better human being? And second one, I like it. So why does it matter? Like, that's really what it comes down to. And third, I guess, why do people care? You know, if there are people out there who are obsessed over trains and the model trains, it shouldn't matter. All power to you. Thank you guys for watching. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. If you're obsessed over something, have you ever had people get angry that you had a cool obsession or a really cool niche interest? I don't know. But anyway, as always, I will talk to you guys tomorrow.